Alright, I realize it's a little bit late to be talking about this fucking movie, but oh man, I should have talked about it before. Ooh. Batman vs Superman is like bad, but it's not as bad as Man of Steel was. It's not. It doesn't. What were people expecting? Seriously, like, who are these people that defended Man of Steel and then they're suddenly hating Batman vs Superman? Like, it's the same movie, actually a little bit better, I would say, or not as bad as what I should say. But Man of Steel was just so like, out of nowhere how bad it was of a movie, and then you can't like think that this is going to be any worse, and I mean it wasn't. It was bad. Oh yeah, it was bad. But there are some cool things about Batman vs Superman. Not many, but there was. I like the cinematography. There wasn't like all the, endless shaky cam in, like there was in Man of Steel. There wasn't any of that in this. The fight between Batman and Superman, it was like 8 minutes long, 8 minutes, whatever it is. It's actually pretty kind of cool. I kind of like that. The plot, I I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think there was one. But let's see. The minor characters were better in this movie than they were in Man of Steel. Like Lawrence Fishburne, people like that, were actually had some kind of timing in this movie, where in Man of Steel they didn't at all. In this movie, there were hilarious moments, mostly unintentional, but there was some intentional ones. Whereas Man of Steel, I hated it so much there was like no moments of joy in that film. But in Batman vs Superman, whether intentional or not, I did smile, I did laugh. To its credit, whether you consider that a good or bad thing, I guess I did have somewhat of a good time. Mostly not, but people seem to be hating on Jesse Eisenberg, who we knew was miscast from the get-go as Lex Luthor. But he was bad. But I don't know. I just kind of let it go. Like, just there. He had a line in the thing where, oh man, I didn't even want to. He had some. Okay, he's just trying to be the Joker, and it doesn't really work. It really doesn't. For some reason, there's like Lois Lane gets ambushed or something in Africa, and people will get shot and die around her, and then Superman is blamed, and so there's a congressional hearing for it. So my question is, why would Congress care about people that died in Africa? But blame it on Superman. It's kind of mind blowing. But anyway, good parts of this film. Ben Affleck is surprisingly good as Batman. Like, he surprised me. I'm really excited for his solo Batman film that he will star and direct in. I think that's been confirmed. He was really good in this movie for what he had. Like, he was trying. You could tell poor Ben was just trying, and he can't do anything with Zack Snyder as your director. And Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman was actually really good too. I liked her. She was surprising. Like, some people didn't really like her, but I thought she gained a little bit more weight for the part, which was nice. And she had moments of she can do in a better film. She would be really, really good. The dumbest, they had like the Flash in there, coming from the future. There were like these dream sequences that didn't work, and it was just. There was one that I was watching. I was like, "There's no way this is a dream sequence. There's no way." It just went on forever, like 10 minutes long. It just, in the longer one, I said there's less chance of it being a dream sequence. But then it's Batman killing people with guns and things, and it's like, what? And then he wakes up, and then he sees the Flash come from the future to warn him about Lois Lane being the key to something really quickly, and then he wakes up again. So Batman is somehow psychic, that he had a dream within a dream to tell him about the future. Why couldn't Wally West just visit him in reality from the future? I think that would have just been fine on its own and really kind of cool, but because it's a dream, who cares? What else? Yeah, everybody knows about Doomsday at the end. That second trailer that came out, it just gave you the whole movie right there. So I really can't spoil anything at this point. I don't know why I'm holding back. Yeah, Doomsday shows up at the end of the movie, and lame things ensue because Lois Lane, once again, Amy Adams is given the worst role, the most useless role in the film. She's just there to create problems, just like she was in Man of Steel, only doing things that don't really matter or cause problems for the main characters. Oh my God, she just, I can't even, she takes a nonsensical action, there's a thing she does, a nonsensical thing, and it leads to a problem later on in the movie, which leads to the ending that everybody hates. And it's all because of, she's partly to blame for something she did, and there's no reason for her to do it, so, oh my God, that script. But yeah, Zack fucking Snyder, the cancer spider, you can't hurt me anymore. I was ready for your shenanigans this time. I was prepared, like you had heard me with Sucker Punch and Man of Steel, and I was just ready this time. I just knew. And, going in with these low expectations of this is going to be the worst movie ever, and you kind of you zone out, and like, you don't care what happens, and you enjoy the funny parts, some funny parts, and unintentionally funny parts, and some of the fight scenes, most of the fight scenes are bad, but the one with Batman and Superman is kind of cool. The editing is pretty bad throughout this movie. There's not any real wide shots to give you a sense of where all the characters are, what scene you're going to. These scenes just sort of happen unmotivated, and the characters' actions are also unmotivated too, so you just get these mess of these closer-up shots. It kind of reminded me of fucking Les Mis, piece of shit, with, the camera being zoomed up on everybody's face the whole fucking time, and you can let me breathe as an audience member, just let me breathe. This movie, there's a car chase scene with Batman and some of the goons or whatever, some dudes, and it's the editing. You have no idea which is the Batmobile and which is their like dark colored car truck in the night, and that was like the one scene that stood out to me in terms of awful editing. Yeah, but yeah, I liked the beginning of the movie too, actually, where you see the end of Man of Steel from the perspective of Ben Affleck, as he has to rescue people that are harmed from the fight between Zod and Superman. And the beginning I actually kind of liked. I was like, oh, this is not so bad. And then oh God, it kept going. But yeah, there's the twist at the end of this movie. Is pretty dumb. I didn't hate it as much as others did. A lot of people are saying it's the dumbest thing they've ever seen, but I don't know. I had zoned out through most of this movie, and when it got to that part, I was just like, oh, okay, I'll take it, whatever it takes for, that thing to happen or not happen. Cool. But yeah, don't see the movie.